Okay, welcome back to the Explainer. Today, we're diving deep into chapters 5 and 6 of our source material, specifically pages 81 through 146, and we are making a massive pivot. It is time to transition from just understanding AI conceptually to actually building your own virtual workforce. We are taking some truly fascinating insights into practical development environments and the powerful Crew AI framework, and seeing where theory actually meets reality. So I want you to imagine something for a second. What if you could hire an entire team of industry experts made entirely of code? Seriously, that's the exact question we're answering today. We're moving way, way beyond just typing a prompt into a single chatbot. We're talking about orchestrating an entire digital team that communicates, delegates, and solves complex problems completely autonomously.
All right, let's get our hands dirty. Section 1, setting up the workshop, the developer environment.
Look, before we can actually hire our digital team, they need a place to work, right? Enter Google Colab. This is literally the perfect starting point. It gives you a really robust Python workspace directly in your browser running on Google's cloud infrastructure. For anyone stepping into AI development, this removes a massive barrier to entry. There are no complex local setups to worry about. You just open a notebook and start coding. It's a total game changer. Next up, we've got to find the raw brains for our agents. You can think of Hugging Face kind of like your digital parts supplier. Through their inference API, you can test and deploy models effortlessly. Rather than training massive, incredibly expensive models from scratch, which, let's be honest, most of us can't do, you have this amazing collaborative hub of thousands of pre-trained open source models ready to plug right into your framework. Now, you have a really crucial decision to make here. Where does your agent's brain actually live? It's a classic trade-off. On one hand, cloud LLMs like AWS or Azure offer massive scalability. That is perfect if you need sheer power. But on the flip side, local deployments using tools like Llama give you complete data privacy and cost control. That means your proprietary data never actually leaves your internal network. Moving right along to section 2, customizing the brain beyond general knowledge. So how do we stop these models from just being, generic chatbots? The answer is RAG, Retrieval-Augmented Generation. I like to think of it as giving your AI an open book test. If you're building a financial agent, RAG retrieves your specific, most recent financial spreadsheets and feeds that exact context to the model right before it answers. It keeps your agents highly accurate and, more importantly, highly specialized. All right, section 3, enter the Crew AI framework, hiring your employees. Our workshop is set up, so let's actually hire this workforce using a really powerful framework called Crew AI. You can think of these core components as the actual org chart of your business. Agents are your distinct virtual employees. Tasks are their specific assignments. Tools give them real capabilities like web scraping or using a calculator. Crews group them all together. Processes define their workflow, and finally, memory gives them the contextual awareness they need to actually learn from past tasks. And just like human teams, your AI crew needs management. You can set them up with a sequential process, which is basically an assembly line. One agent finishes a task and hands it directly to the next. Or you can go hierarchical. This introduces a manager agent. This manager dynamically evaluates the workflow in real time and delegates tasks to subordinates based on whatever the current situation demands. Which brings us to section 4, anatomy of an agent, defining the role. So how do you actually program a specific employee to make sure they do their job right? Well, you define their role, their goal, their backstory, and their tools. But I gotta tell you, the absolute secret sauce here, it's step 3, the backstory. Instead of just saying you are a financial bot, you give it a whole narrative. Something like, you specialize in helping individuals overcome debt by creating personalized repayment plans. That narrative constrains and guides the model to act deeply, consistently in line with its specific job title. And because of that rich, detailed backstory, a budgeting advisor agent isn't going to just spit out generic advice like, hey, save more money. No way. It produces a highly customized, actionable output. It will systematically break down a user's specific monthly income, analyze the expenses, and generate a step-by-step financial plan. The narrative structure directly translates into this high-quality, expert-level result. Let's look at this in action. Section 5, Real-World AI Workforces, the Customer Call Center. To really grasp the power of this multi-agent collaboration, let's break down a complex, real-world example from our source material, a customer call center. At the very root of the operation, a central customer service manager intercepts the incoming user query. But instead of trying to solve the problem itself, it acts as a router. It evaluates the context and pushes the issue down the tree to the exact right specialist, whether that happens to be tech support, billing, or customer feedback. This division of labor is just incredibly efficient. Let's say a customer has a software bug. Boom, the manager delegates it straight to tech support to troubleshoot and pull tickets. What if they were overcharged? The manager instantly routes them over to billing to process payments or generate invoices. Every single agent stays completely focused on its specialized domain, seamlessly working together to resolve the issue for the user. So we've walked through the environments, the frameworks, and the honestly incredible potential of a cohesive, autonomous team. The barriers to building a highly capable virtual workforce have literally never been lower. Your tools are sharp, and your digital crew is waiting for their instructions. So the only question left for us to ask is, what will you build first?